right. Welcome to the second debate of the day.
Yeah.
Special thanks to our sponsors, Tollywood Group of Schools. They are prize sponsors. Obi-Weezy, they are partners from inception, and they are ensuring that these kids are rewarded with gadgetry, the likes of which will leave you jealous of them. And thanks also to our national finals sponsor. Thank you very much for being a part of this whole debate. We go straight now to the second debate. Maryann, are you ready for the introduction of these two debaters? We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Our judges are Chief Judge Chukwuebuka Diche of the Pan Atlantic University. He is the head of the Department of Mass Communication and Strategic Communication Programs at the School of Media and Communication there. Ofoma Egbamino is our news manager, Nigeria Info, Cool FM, Wazobia FM, and of course Kids FM. Yvonne Ohaifo, my co-anchor since season 6, who is performing the dual role of debate judge and diction judge on this occasion, besides also producing plenty of load on her shoulders. So let's meet the two contestants.
All right, we're going to start with Ebule Timothy Chukwuebuka. He is of Bijamic Private Schools.
My name is Ebule Timothy. I'm 14 years old in SS2 of Bijamic Private School. It inspired me to join this edition of the I Beg to Differ Student Debate Tournament was what the moderator said last time, that I should keep on coming until I win.
And yes, he's kept on coming. Lagos, Nigeria. Welcome back, Ebule Timothy Chukwuebuka, 14 years of age, SS2 student of the Bijamic Private School. Welcome. Ebule, how are you?
Fine.
Timothy Ebule Chukwuebuka. It's good to have you back in our studios. What's up? What's up with my bed? Good Lord. Okay, here we go again. Thank you very much. Nothing like a good bed to lay on. So you've met Timothy Chukwuebuka Ebule. Time now to meet his opponent.
Edembah Paul Tochukwu.
I am Edembah Paul, a 15-year-old SS3 student of Siena Comprehensive College, Ayabo. My hobbies are, playing football, watching football, reading, listening to radio, that's all. This tournament, you expect, ideas, that's all.
And we'll be on the lookout for those ideas. Lagos, welcome Paul Tochukwu Edembah of Siena Comprehensive College, 15-year-old SS3 student of that school. Welcome, Paul.
Thank you, sir.
It's good to have this debate between Paul and his young traveling companion, Timothy. It's a debate of biblical proportions. Let's get into it.
I didn't
Lagos.
see that coming. Okay.
Okay, so, gentlemen, Apostle and disciple, are you both ready?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Hug your microphone. Step closer to it without adjusting your chairs, okay? Because your chairs have been adjusted to accommodate your cameras.
Mm-hmm.
Timothy, do you want to use your headphones or not?
Not.
Okay. So, he heads up north. Let's go down south. And let's get to this debate. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, you would hear this debate. First off, though, the topic is teenagers who commit heinous crimes should be tried as adults. Should they be tried as adults or not? before that break, let's decide who is supporting and who is opposing. Okay, gentlemen. So I have two pieces of paper. Timothy, do you want my right hand or my left hand?
Left.
My left hand. There goes. Maryann gives it to you, and I give the other one to Paul. Paul and Timothy, how do you argue? Well, the apostle.
Very apostolic, you know.
Yeah, apostle was probably hoping for something else. How about disciple? Yeah, well,
Support.
Well, Timothy never rose to apostleship, but you are supporting.
Yes.
So Paul is opposing.
Paul the apostle.
We'll hear the gospel. Paul will oppose the gospel. Timothy will support it. That when we return.
The second edition of I Beg to Differ Season 8 is heating up, and you don't want to be left out. At 4 p.m. on Wednesday, it's a battle of wits as Zipele Ayebatokoni Lear goes head-to-head with Ochua Osehi Ichue on the thought-provoking topic, homework is a waste of a student's time. And at 5 p.m., get ready for a fierce showdown between Ebule Timothy Chukwuebuka and Edembah Paul Tochukwu as they tackle the controversial debate. Teenagers who commit heinous crimes should be tried as adults. Who will rise to the challenge? Who will advance to the round of 16? Maryann, Okon and Femi Obong-Daniels will be there to find out. I Beg to Differ Season 8. 32 debaters, now 28. One winner, 1 million naira. Sponsored by Tollywood College, supported by Obiwizi and Chrisland Schools. For sponsorship, send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. That is info@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, a tournament of champions.
Welcome back, Lagos. We are the Marines. We don't plan, we improvise. So let's get into this interesting debate. Topic: teenagers who commit heinous crimes should be tried as adults. Should they? Should they not? Well, Timothy is supporting that motion while Paul is opposing it. The motion supporter will go first. Maryann, it's up to you now.
Paul, you have 4 minutes.
Timothy, I
beg your pardon. He's supporting. Timothy, you have 4 minutes and your time starts now.
We all want to live in a safe society, but how can this be possible when we have young teenage offenders living among us, walking freely on the streets and reoffending? If they are able to commit heinous crimes, shouldn't they also be able to face the full weight of justice? Good day, moderator, panel of judges, accurate timekeeper, co-debater, and my ever-attentive audience. I am Ebule Timothy, and I strongly believe that teenagers who commit heinous crimes should be tried as adults with the following reasons. To begin with, it serves as a means of deterrence to other teenagers who hear or see the consequences of committing crime. The Chicago University study revealed that countries with stricter laws against teenage offenders have had a 25% decrease in teenage crime rate. Secondly, it ensures public safety. Not trying teenagers as adults might sound as a good thing since they are young, but they are actually putting the community in danger. Barry Lukotuiz, a 14-year-old who carried out a school shooting in 1996 that led to the death of 3 people, was tried as an adult and sentenced to life imprisonment in order to ensure the safety of the public. Another point to note is the fact that rehabilitation has proven to be ineffective. The juvenile justice system does not have the security to contain violent offenders. According to National Institute of Correction, there is a 50% failure rate in rehabilitation program among violent teenagers. Another point to note is the fact that it is more expensive. Not trying teenagers as adults is costing taxpayers a lot of money that is being spent on future crime prevention program. According to National Institute of Justice, $88,000 is being spent every year in order to detain teenagers, compared to $32,000 that is being spent on rehabilitation. This clearly shows that it is cheaper to try teenagers as adults than to try them as teenagers and as juveniles. Another point to note is the fact that both teenage criminals and adult criminals have the same thinking pattern. The American Psychological Association revealed that violent teenagers display same psychopathic traits as adult criminals. This goes to show that while the teenage brain is still developing, violent teenagers display adult-like thinking ability in crime action. So tell me, why shouldn't they be tried as adults? Another point to note is the fact that similar crime should attract similar punishments. Age should not be a determinant factor. I am sure you won't be happy if a teenager commits a heinous crimes against you and age is used to lessen his punishment. Moving on, there has been successful cases of adult sentencing. Countries like UK, Canada, etc. that try that teenagers as adults have had a decrease in teenage crime rates. Another point to note is the fact that it serves as a means of justice for the victims. Murderers, rapists, etc., who are sentenced to juveniles for a few months and are released with new identities to continue their normal lives, while their victims are left to suffer the impact. Tell me, does this sound like justice on the part of the victim? Another point to note is the fact that teenagers who commit heinous crimes and are not tried as adults lacks a high level of remorse. According to United States Sentencing Committee, teenagers who commit heinous crimes and are not tried, 60% of teenagers who commit heinous crimes and are not tried as adults have a high rate of lack of remorse. This clearly, lastly, public opinion. The Gallup poll revealed that 70% of American association believe that teenagers should be tried as adults, while 80% of American association and many legal practitioners agree that they should be given harsher punishment. In conclusion, trying teenagers as adults is a means of holding them accountable for their actions. With all this point of mind, you all must agree with me that teenagers who commit heinous crimes should be tried as adults. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brilliant. He's 15 years of age, not 14, by the way. He's an SS2 student of Bijamic Private Schools. Ebule Timothy Chukwuebuka with his opening round, his opening salvo, his presentation round. Time now to listen to his opponent, 15-year-old SS3 student of Siena Comprehensive College, Edembah, Paul Tochukwu.
Paul, you have 4 minutes, I beg your pardon, and your time starts now.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, accurate timekeeper, my incorruptible panel of judges, and my intelligent co-debater. I am Edembah Paul from Siena Comprehensive College, strongly opposed to the motion which states teenagers who commit heinous crime should be treated equally as adults. Firstly, if teenagers are treated as adults, it violates their fundamental human rights. How does it violate their fundamental human rights? It violates their right to free trial. This is because there's lack of consideration for their age and development, and there's lack of less legal requirements because they are teenagers. Also, other rights such as the right to life, survival and development, right to life, survival and development is undermined. Right to rehabilitation and reintegration is also undermined. Secondly, it undermines various international standards by research by various international organizations such as United Nations, African Union, and European Union. Some of these international standards include the 1985 United Nations minimum maximum rates for the administration of juvenile justice, and also the 2003 and also the International Standard of African Union, 1969 Convention of African Union, which the 1969 Convention of African Union of Human Rights, and thirdly, it's various laws have been sent by various countries to discourage the trial of teenagers, as adults. Some of these laws include the 1985 this includes the 1985 United States of America Federal Law of Juvenile Justice and Delinquency Prevention, and the 2003 Argentine Criminal Act, and the 1999 UK U Justice and Criminal Act evidence. These are various laws that discourage the trial of teenagers as adults. Also, it has been shown that teenagers who are tried using other means such as juvenile justice system or rehabilitation are shown to have improved outputs, and this has been proved by this was proved by the Casey Foundation. We found out that teenagers who are tried using teenagers who are trying using juvenile system have attain education, attain employment, and they are integrated into the society more, and they integrated society more easily. Also, according to a study that was released by Restoration Justice Project, it is found out that teenagers have lower recidivism rates, unlike those that were tried as adults. It was found out that those who were tried using other means such as juvenile justice system have a lower recidivism rate of 55%. Also, limited cognitive skills. According to the National Institute of Drug Abuse USA, it is found out that teenagers have limited cognitive abilities due to the fact that they behave impulsively.
All right, this is the opportunity of the bell to just land. Thank you very much. Good thing is, it's 1 round down, 2 rounds to go. Let the battle continue. Let's take it to the very end. You just heard Edembah Paul Tochukwu of Siena Comprehensive College. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, it will be time for the rebuttal rounds. Stay with us, Lagos.
The biggest debate competition in Nigeria. I beg to differ on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Obiwizi is Nigeria's pioneer e-commerce platform for pre-owned gadgets. They are Nigeria's home of gadgets with warranties, where you can purchase all your favorite devices and quality accessories, both brand new and pre-owned. You can also trade in your older devices for a newer model in a simple and convenient way. With offline and pickup stores in Ikeja, Lekki, Abuja, and Benin, Obiwizi delivers nationwide. On Instagram at Obiwizi Backup Page, on X at Obiwizi, email address info@obiwizi.com, or go to the website at www.obiwizi.com.
Welcome back. Just in case you are late, this is where we are.
The second edition of I Beg to Differ Season 8 is heating up, and you don't want to be left out. At 4 p.m. on Wednesday, it's a battle of wits as Zipele Ayebatokoni Lear goes head-to-head with Ochua Osehi Ichue on the thought-provoking topic, homework is a waste of a student's time. And at 5 p.m., get ready for a fierce showdown between Ebule Timothy Chukwuebuka and Edembah Paul Tochukwu as they tackle the controversial debate: teenagers who commit heinous crimes should be tried as adults. Who will rise to the challenge? Who will advance to the round of 16? Maryann, Okon, and Femi Obong-Daniels will be there to find out. I Beg to Differ Season 8. 32 debaters, now 28. One winner, 1 million naira. Sponsored by Tollywood College, supported by Obiwizi and Chrisland Schools. For sponsorship, send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. That is info@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ, a tournament of champions.
Welcome back. Teenagers who commit heinous crimes should be tried as adults. Ebule Timothy Chukwuebuka supports that motion. Edembah Paul Tochukwu opposes it. Timothy is from Bijamic Private Schools. Paul is from Siena Comprehensive College. It's now time for the rebuttal round straight away, on which occasion we flip the script and the opposer goes first. Paul, are you ready? Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
Timekeeper?
Yes. Well, Paul, your time starts now.
firstly, join me as I will be countering some of the points my opponents made in his representation round. First, my opponent said young teenage offenders, if they are not tried as adults, they will be allowed to live amongst us. This is wrong, because if teenagers are tried using rehabilitation centers or juvenile prisons, they also will be reprimanded from the society. They will not be in the society with us. Secondly, you said that rehabilitation is ineffective. This is false. We have seen cases of various individuals that have undergone other means of punishment apart from trying them as adults, and it showed positive impact. Example is Alexa King, Eric Smith, and the likes. Also, you said similar crime attracts similar crime should attract similar punishment. Well, similar crime should attract similar punishment, but certain things should be considered, such as the self-dignity of the teenager, the self-worthiness of the teenager, the self-worthiness of the teenager, the age of the teenager, the reasoning pattern of the teenager. The reasoning pattern of a teenager is different from the reasoning pattern of an adult. That should be considered. Also, you said it is more expensive. If an object or an idea is expensive but is effective, that idea should be allowed into our society. But an idea that is cheap but is useless should not be allowed. But if trying teenagers using juvenile courts and the rest is more expensive and is more effective, that should be promoted in our society. Also, you said UK and Canada has a decrease in crime rate. Well, they're not the only countries that have a decrease in crime rate. There are other countries such as the United States, France, Germany, Italy that uses juvenile courts. They are using juvenile courts, and they also have decrease in crime rate in their crime rates. Also, you said it does not consider the victim. Well, it does not consider the victim, quite alright, but it also considers the whole country or the whole society at large. For example, a teenager who is tried using the juvenile court system, juvenile justice system, so that teenager will have an improved output. That teenager can be easily integrated into the society, which will which will have more impact on the economy of that nation, which will increase the population and have an influence on the working population and the people that can get into the labor market and improve the economy of the nation. So, and a victim should not be allowed to stop the progress of the whole nation. Also, you said it serves as a means of deterrence. Well, it serves as a means of deterrence does not mean that juvenile justice, other means do not also serve as a means of deterrence. Other means has an added value, because it also serves as a means of deterrence and as well rehabilitates them and gives them the reason why they should not have committed certain crime. I should let you know that if teenagers are tried as adults, when they get into those prisons, they will meet other hardened criminals who are adults who will influence them more negatively and make them worse than the way they were when they was at the way.
Why? Because we have right to live, and these teenagers are killing people. Isn't that also violation of human rights? You also made mention of lack of consideration for age. Why would their age be considered when both teenage criminals and adult criminals have the same thinking pattern, as the American Psychological Association has proven? You also made mention of right to life is undermined. Like I made mention earlier, the right to life of the victims are also being undermined, because these teenagers are not taking into consideration the lives of other victims. You also made mention of right to rehabilitation. This rehabilitation you're speaking of is also being given to them in the adult justice system, because this aim of sentencing a person to prison is actually to make the person change their character. Isn't that the whole point? Isn't that the aim of rehabilitation? So this rehabilitation is also given to them. You also talked about various laws discourage teenagers from being tried as adults, and these laws are actually making the society a more dangerous place for victims. Why? Because If a person commits a crime like murder or rape, for instance, and he's not sentenced or tried as an adult, he will see, okay, I commit this crime now, there's no punishment for it, and he'll be encouraged to commit it again. You also talked about rehabilitation has improved the output of teenagers. How can you say this? If you say this, then why do we still have cases of teenagers who end up reoffending after being released from juvenile facilities? Like the United States Sentencing Committee proved, which I mentioned earlier, 60% of teenage offenders get rearrested for reoffending or violating supervision law. You also talked about they won't be like the teenagers who are tried as adults won't be in the society, and this is actually a good thing. Why? Because they are making the society a safer place for both the family members, for both citizens, members of that community, and also the family. You said trying teenagers as adults is effective. Like I mentioned earlier, if this is effective, why did they end up reoffending? Thank you.
All right.
Thank you very much.
And so the rebuttal round is over. We take a quick break. We're in a mad dash against time. When we come back, we'll go straight
to the closing
round. We can't wait. Stick around, Lagos.
The biggest debate competition in Nigeria. I beg to differ on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Tollywood College is a modern co-educational day school poised to provide a perfect learning environment for students between the ages of 10 and 16. We are dedicated to innovation and excellence in teaching and learning, an experience like no other at Tollywood College, where potentials are unlocked and given premium value. For inquiries, kindly contact us at the email address info@tollywoodcollege.com or go to the website at www.tollywoodcollege.com. You could also go to the physical address to see things for yourself at kilometer 43 Lekki Egbe Expressway by Canaan Land Estate, Shongotedo, Aja, Lagos. Rest assured, we will be waiting.
The Tournament of Champions. It's I Beg to Differ on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
Welcome back. We're streaming live on Facebook and YouTube. Search for Nigeria Info. You cannot miss it. Special thanks to everybody who's been a part of this, particularly our prize sponsors, Tollywood Group of Schools and OB Weezy for providing the amazing gadgetry. Also thanks to Chrisland Schools. Time now for the closing arguments. We'll revert now once again to the motion supporter.
All right. This particular round is 3 minutes. So make sure you use your 3 minutes very well. Your time starts now.
And that refers to you, Ebule, Timothy, Chukwuebuka. Do you want to restart that?
Yes, please.
Yes, let's restart that. A quick reminder, too, that this broadcast is live on 101.7 Kids FM. Timothy now for his closing round.
Ready? Your time starts now.
Christopher Simon, a 17-year-old, broke into the house of 46-year-old Shirley Cook, bonded her hands and her feet, covered her face in duct tape, and in a cool and calculated manner, drove her off to a bridge, tied her up with electric cord, and while she was still alive, threw her into the river, and below she drowned. He later bragged about the murder to his friends, not showing any sign of remorse. He had planned it and openly admitted that he thought that being a minor would lessen his punishment. This incident goes to show that teenagers are fully aware of the gravity of their crime, but think that their age will be used to lessen their punishment. I strongly believe that a teenager who can commit a heinous crime should be tried as adults. Panel of judges, imagine being the daughter of 46-year-old Shirley Cook, staring at Christopher, who took your mother's life, only to find out that he would be sentenced to juvenile for a few months and be released with a new personality, a new criminal record, a clean criminal record, to continue his normal life, while you are left there to suffer the impact. Tell me, how will you feel? The law is meant to provide justice, not to give murderers and rapists a second chance. Murder, rape, etc. are not just childish mistake. They are well thought out violence that leave the community and the family's victims in fear. And treating them as childish mistake is simply betraying the foundation of justice. My opponent here is trying to make us adopt a system that will continue to encourage criminals to commit more and more crime. I agree that teenagers' brains are still developing, but we teenagers are meant to know that murder is wrong. Raping is evil. Stabbing a person to death or setting a person on fire is terrifying. So teenagers who commit heinous crimes do not lack knowledge, rather they lack fear of consequences. Justice should be blind, not to circumstances, but to excuses. The punishment for a crime should equate the gravity of the crime and not the birth certificate. A murderer is a murderer. A rapist is a rapist. A violent offender is a violent offender. Let's all stand for real justice. In order to ensure justice, accountability, and ensure a safer environment, teenagers who commit heinous crimes should be tried as adults, because serious crimes deserve serious consequences. Thank you.
If the court pleases, Barrister Ebule Timothy Chukwuebuka would like to rest his case, and he has rested his case. And now we switch. By the way, it sounds more like the plaintiffs now, huh? Those supporting the motion.
Yeah.
Okay. That was his alarm going off, so he had some time to spare. So the defendants will now rest their case. Over now to Barrister Edembah Paul Tochukwu of Siena Comprehensive College.
Edembah, your time starts now.
Pardon me, we'll reset. Please reset. That's on me.
Your time starts now.
According to the UNICEF Executive Director Ariella Fort, she said that teenagers who commit crime should be accountable for their actions. They should respect their needs and dignity, and they should understand the consequences of their action, but should not just be thrown into the thrown into the dark hole of adult prisons, where they might not be where at the end of the day they might not be able to understand the consequences of their action. Consequences of their action. I should let my opponents know that the prefrontal cortex of a teenager is still developing. So teenagers make impulsive behaviors that limit their cognitive abilities. They make their decisions. They make their decisions without really much thinking about. They make their decisions without really thinking much about them, and it's making them to commit these certain crimes, which sometimes are influenced by the society and the people they move around with. Imagine a child that have a poor background, or a child that had no parental care, or a child that has no access to education. How do you expect that child to survive? In one way or the other, find means to survive. And now, if that child finds himself involved in one crime or the other, would you necessarily say that it's the fault of the child? Government also need to take their action. Governments can also be responsible for these teenagers partaking in these crimes. Also, I should let you know that a child is still a child. No matter how tall a sapling grows, it can never be as mighty as an oak tree, as an iroko tree. A teenager can never be an adult, and is not yet an adult, and they should not be regarded as adults. Hence, they should not be tried as an adult. They should not be tried as an adult. I have provided points. I have provided points to this argument. I have refuted my opponent's points with valid reasons, and I am pushing the argument to each and everyone to listen that teenagers who commit heinous crimes should not be tried as adults. Thank you.
All right.
And so the defense rests. Edembah Paul Tochukwu of Siena Comprehensive College, 15 years of age, SS3 student. while opposing the motion that teenagers who commit heinous crimes should be tried as adults. His opponent, Ebule Timothy Chukwuebuka, 14-year-old SS2 student of Bijamic private schools, had supported that motion, asserting that teenagers should be tried as adults if they commit heinous crimes. And now it's in the hands of the judges. As we wait for the judges, a quick look at some of your messages here on YouTube. Jonah Robert Shalom says, Femo, I saw what you did there. It's gonna get spiritual. Yeah. Omionu Ogadimma Dixon says, welcome back, Timothy. I've been a fan of yours from your first day in IBTD. That's I beg to differ debate. I hope you win today, lad. Heavy mental care says, wow, the topic is hot. Go, boys. Goldmine says, debaters, please understand the topic until it becomes a part of you. Cramming is bad for debating. Emmanuel Umoren goes, honestly, this is a very powerful topic. I wish the student using specific space fillers, okay? I wish the student using space fillers can watch it. It is not making his points clear enough to understand. Space fillers. Okay. Alexander Madu says, he said, that kid kind of cold finna like that.
That's an American
yes, Esther Oboli says, good evening, our indefatigable moderators, our impartial panel of judges, feisty debaters, and our teaming fans. Not forgetting our L1. I pay to watch these boys any day, any time. And Robert says, well done, Maryann and Ogafemo, for a good job. Thank you all. What you got on Facebook?
All right, on Facebook Live, Amazie David says, Timothy has improved so well. He's no doubt going to run away with this debate. When I faced him last year, it was a tough battle. Okay.
Amazie David, thanks for joining. Yeah.
Akinshala Abubakar here says, Paul is surely too much on fire for Timothy to be curtailed. Paul has won already. Aya Sunday Stefano says, Timothy, well composed and articulated. I like the way he marshaled his points. Give it to him. Akobondu Godson Ojunwa here says, Timothy is the disciple for the next round.
Brilliant.
Okay.
Well, the scores are in. Let us go to the scorecard so we can see if it will be possible to take a couple of calls before we go.
Yeah.
Here are the judges' scorecards. For the presentation round, Judge Yvonne scores it 10-5. Timothy. Judge Ufoma scores it 10-3. Timothy. Chief Judge Chike scores it 10-4. Timothy. 30-12. Rebuttal round. Judge Yvonne scores it 10-10. Judge Ufoma scores it 10-9. Timothy. Chief Judge Chike scores it 10-7.5. Timothy. 30 to 26.5 in that round. For the closing round, Judge Yvonne scores it 10-6. Timothy. Judge Ufoma scores it 10-7. Timothy. Chief Judge Chike scores it 10-6. Timothy. It's 30 to 19 in that round. It's 90 to 57.5. On all three judges' scorecards for the 3 rounds. Diction infraction scoring. Diction Judge Yvonne Ohaifo has it at 10-8. Timothy. For the winner with a final score of 100 to 65.5, it is unanimous. Congratulations, Ebule Timothy Chukwuebuka of Bijamic Private Schools. you progress.
Thank you.
Fantastic. How do you feel? You don't know how to put it. Put it anyhow.
Okay. Feel relieved and happy.
Relieved.
Yes.
So Timothy wins it. Paul.
How do you feel?
You wish you could have done more. Did you wish you had the other side of the argument? Exactly. I know. I've learned, and I've shared this before. Once the side you choose is determined on the go, do not be deflated. Once you allow yourself to be deflated, it's going to affect your output. I want you to take that as a lesson here for future debates. Okay? Thank you very much for gracing our studios. Okay? We've run out of time. Yvonne, do you take a minute to share something for these kids to take home with them?
Yes, thank you, Femi. So to both of you, I'd say, Ebule Timothy, you're a veteran at this point. You should know to follow the rule of subject-verb agreement. All right? You should know that. To Edembah, it is not disencourage, it is discourage. Okay? So it isn't disencourage. You say legal, you say development, you say education, self-worth. Not self-worthiness, self-worth, okay? Self-worth. Them, not them, them. Because we don't have that much time, I'll go to Ebule Timothy as well. Ebule Timothy, juvenile is an adjective and a noun. If you're referring to where teenagers are held, you say juvenile detention or juvenile correctional facility or juvenile jail, because you cannot use juvenile as an adjective on its own, especially when referring to a place. So juvenile detention, you have to be specific when referring to the place. It is murder, not murder. Murder, okay? Murder, both, prove, not prove. It is prove, not prove. You said prove. 46-year-old Sally, 46-year-old woman, 46-year-old, the person you referred to in your closing round. Okay, when you're using that string as an adjective, you don't need an S in the year or in the mile or in the dollar or in currency. Okay, so you say $100 bill, 100 naira notes. Okay, a 10-pound note. You don't say a 10 pounds note, and therefore you do not say 46 years old woman, 46-year-old, whatever her name was. Okay, he threw her into the river. Threw, not true. True is a different word. It means something entirely different. Okay, so you say threw, which is the past tense of throw. When giving a hypothetical scenario, use the past tense of the verb. All right, always use the past tense. So you were talking about how you asked him if he were in a situation as the one you had, like the one you had explained, how would he feel? You said, how will you feel? How would you feel should have been used. All right, so well done to both of you. Well,
thank you very much, Yvonne. We've run completely out of time. Ebuka, you'll go up against Ochua Osei Ichue. You know your position. Thanks to all our producers, everybody who made it work. Tunde Ken, Olamide Onyeka. Thanks to our sponsors, Tollywood Group of Schools, and of course, Obi Weezy. See you tomorrow.
Mama, they don't dash me 20,000 naira. Woof!
My pikin, who they dash 20,000 naira for this kind time?
That they dash.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.